I don't want to. I don't want to tell the person's name just yet because their role starts February 1st. But we have hired our own videographer. Now, the videographer is going to be in-house. And I don't want to give up too much, but this person was on the team before. They left because they had to leave for the time being, wanted to come back any way they possibly could. We found a role for this person. So this person is coming back who has created what I have seen to be some of the best video in the last couple years. Without saying this person's name, you guys have probably seen it. There was a video that was created last year about Eichlers, and that should give you a hint about who this person is. This video, this background, he did a video about Eichlers. He did a video about Yorba Linda. This, right? This content is absolutely fire. So here's what I see us doing is walking into an era where our personal brand is even more prevalent. The stories that we're telling is really, really taking people on a journey, right? Give you an example. Hey guys, I know that you're looking in Maxwell Park, but let me tell you some of the history of that Maxwell Park and how this community has changed and how values have rose more than 25% in the last 5 years. Let me share with you why, right? And tell them like this cool history and story and who's lived there and why, and like all these things to compile this cool message about a certain area or about yourself or about your brand, your style. And I think this person, we all know who this person is, I think is going to help bring all of this to light. So I'm really, really stoked to have this person. And then to help us on the leadership side, to kind of tell some of our stories, what we're doing, how this company grew, how it was grassroots and there was, 10 fast agents trying to jack internet in the lobby of our old building that they shut us down from. We're trying to hop on the internet, and Eric knows he was one of those people working at restaurants and trying to figure things out. Like those are the messages that people need to hear. And so I'm really, really stoked about that. We won't spend any more time on that, but happy, see me, can I have you mute yourself? Okay, happy Friday. Really, really excited. And I'm excited for a couple different things. I'm gonna share this with you and then I'm gonna bring you guys out on the field today. So you guys get ready. Today, I'm excited because in 3 days from now, I'm starting the 75-day hard. I know that we talked about this last Monday. Some of you guys might be on that train. This shit is going to be tough. I'm not expecting any of this to be easy. It is 75 days starting Monday. 2 workouts a day. One has to be outside. They're 45-minute workouts. You have to drink a gallon of water every single day, right? Which is probably going to be a little bit difficult. You have to read 10 pages of educational, motivational, inspirational. You have to post progress pics, and you have to stick to a diet. No cheat meals at all, no cheat days at all, and you have to do that for 75 days. If you miss any of that, you have to start from scratch all over again. So I'm really pumped about this. I'm excited. I know it's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be hard, but I'll tell you what, I'm ready for this transformation because I feel like a lot's going to come out of this on the back end. So let's go ahead and get started on this beautiful Friday. Whoever just hopped on, if you can mute yourself. So let's do this. Roxanne Adams, I'm going to turn it over to you. Honey. Roxanne spoke the other day at Melody's event for the Vision event. Thought her speech was amazing. It was impromptu. She's just like, what? I got to talk. It was amazing. So Roxanne, I want to turn it over to you and have you bring us out on the field on this beautiful morning.
Oh my goodness. I've never brought us out on the field before. I always tell you, you have to give me a 1-day warning because I have to rehearse. But okay, well, I'll take us out on the field. Good morning, everybody. I'm super excited because I have been consistently on these coaching calls now, and I'm so glad that I committed myself to this. I am thrilled to be on the line with everybody who are on these coaching calls. Like, you guys all encourage me. I hope that everybody that's on here is encouraged as well. 2022 is off to such a good start. We're all going to win. We're going to win together. We're going to uplift each other. We're going to continue to collaborate, and we are going to continue to change the industry in a way that no other brokerage has done it. So I'm excited to be here, and cheers to everybody.
Woo! Love that. I love that. And you guys, we've believed in that. We're not going to get too far in the woods on this, but I have said this since day one. What we have created here at Fast Real Estate has been a true movement. We have reshaped what the real estate industry thought that it could be, and we've inspired other people to change and make a change in their own markets. And so really stoked to be where we are. So let's do this, you guys. Today, I want to have a conversation that is centered around lead generation. At the end of the day, you guys have a couple different sources that you guys can be tapping into. But I think what happens is that we don't have a strategic marketing plan that is designed to help us make sure that all these different buckets are running smoothly, right? And you might be good in one section or you might be good over here, but do you know good scripts for all the different sections? Do you know how to approach these things in different ways? Do you know how to go after your SOIs? Do you know how to go after people on social media? Do you know how to talk to an expired listing? Do you know how to talk to a for sale by owner? So what I want to do is, first off, is I want to have just an open dialogue about lead generation. I want to hear some thoughts, some ideas, and things that you guys are doing right now that are winning for you, right? I don't want to hear about the things that you've tried, the million things that you've tried and subscriptions you've paid for that never panned out, right? Here's what I want to do. I want to hear what's working for you guys. Then what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about expired and going after expired. I'm going to call on a couple people in the room today, and we're going to go through some of the key objections that you guys are going to hit when you guys are working with expireds and going after expireds. Because I tell you what, there's a huge opportunity out there for you. When I talk to these mega teams throughout the United States, we're hearing how they're cleaning up on the expired and the FSBOs game. When we look at the size of our team, the capacity of our team, and the skills on this team, I think that our listing count is really, really low from where it should be and where it could be by the end of this year. So we're going to have some conversations today. Hopefully you guys are down to just jump on. We'll do some role playing. I'll have Eric do some role playing. Whoever else wants to do some role playing, we'll just have some fun with this. So let's just get right into it this morning. And let me pull up my screen really quick. I got some things I want to share with you guys. All right. So you guys, if you're hopping in the room, make sure to, make sure to mute yourself. So lead generation, this is really simple. I share this with every single person that I do a coaching call with, and it is very, very simple. You have to look at your business and you have to break your business down into 5 categories. If you've been on a one-on-one coaching with me, if you've been in a vision meeting with us, if you've been in a goal setting and business planning session, you've heard me say this, and I will say it over and over and over again, because I believe that the key to duplication is simplicity. You have to look at your business in 5 different categories, but what you have to do is you have to make sure that you have a strategic plan for each of these categories, and let me elaborate. We all know that Roxanne has built a strong business on, hey, Vanessa, can you mute yourself, or whoever is talking right now? Thank you. Roxanne's built a strong business through her sphere of influence. So obviously, each of you have a circle. Each of you have people around you, whether it's past coworkers, whether it's people from your church, people in your community, friends, family. We all have a sphere, whether it's a large sphere or whether it's a really small sphere. We all have one. So the idea is, how am I going about talking to my sphere? What am I sending to them? Am I calling them, like Roxanne said? Am I calling people? Am I letting them know happy anniversary, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year? Am I still picking up the phone and sending them something, or having some personal communication with them? Am I sending them personalized videos? Are they in a VIP group in Facebook? Or are they getting something that all the masses get? How am I sending something special out to my sphere of influence? So when you think about this, you have to make sure that you have a plan for each of these buckets. So I want to have an open dialogue about this in a couple minutes. You have to have a strong social media game. I hear this all the time. Hey, how's your social media? It's good, or it's not that good. So I want to do a quick poll right now, and please provide your insights and be honest with me. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being your social media content you feel is fire, you have a lot of engagement, you're getting a lot of people talking to you, and you're getting opportunities. 10 being the very best. 1 being the absolute, you need some help, you're not posting that much, you never post, you're never on social. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rank your social media right now? Your social media game. Go ahead and put that in the chat below. Be honest with me. Okay, cool. I'm seeing a 6. Andrea, thank you for saying that. A 1, an 8, a 6, a 1, a 7, a 3. Okay, cool. Kenny, a 7. Kenny, give yourself a 10, bro. Sasha is a 1. Melody, a 5. Maria, a 3. Lamont Sanders, a 1. Kaleem, a 6. Juliana, a 1 to 2. Christina, again, with the 7. Vin Lay, a 2. Okay, you guys, if there's any more, please put that in there. Thank you, first off, for being on it. Karan, thank you for saying that. Aaliyah, 6 to 7. Okay, cool. Keep it coming. First things first is that you guys are identifying areas of opportunity, right? I talked to 2 people yesterday and I said, pull out your phone right now. I want you to look at your insights and I want you to look at your social media activity from yesterday or today. How much time did you spend on Instagram? It was 4 hours. Both of them were an average of 4 hours. And then I looked on their social and neither one of them had posted anything on their story or didn't post anything for the day. So there's a disconnect there. So the strong social media game means this: you be consistent, you document your journey, you provide value, and you engage with others, right? It's not always about being interesting. You also have to be interested. What are other people doing? What are they posting about? How did you do that? Oh my God, congratulations. Hey, I'm curious. How did you get X amount of deals in the last 5 months? I'd love to have coffee with you. Pick your brain. Can we mastermind? Can we script role play? Right? You need to be interested, not just interesting all the time. So when you're looking at your social media game, how many videos are you making? How much are you creating over your consumption? And you have to up that level. If you're at a 2 and you go to 4% on the scale from 1 to 10, cool, that's a 2% increase. That means that you're going to be doing more on social. So pillars of production, strong social media game, work on that. Your community involvement, something we talk about all the time, you guys. And once again, this is a high level conversation. What can you be doing in your community right now to develop a presence and develop business? Businesses, restaurants, schools, activities, this farmers market, the things that you guys are associated with, different groups, activist groups, whatever it is that you guys want to be a part of in your community, there is nothing stopping you from going out and simply recording that. If you remember when we were in Concord, we heard the guy talk about the triangle of engagement. I love going to this pizza place every single week, so I'm going to shoot a quick video of that. I'm going to tag that place and let them know how much I love them. That place is now going to repost my video. Anybody that follows that place is then hopefully going to see my video and follow me. So now I have this triangle of engagement that cost me zero money. Zero money. All I did is I went out and recorded, what's up, you guys? It's Elias. I'm out here in front of Tony's Pizza, best pizza in the area. Come out here every Sunday with my family, and I post that, right? So you guys have an ability to get out into your community. If you have kids, talk to the school, talk about the challenges they faced through pandemic, how they made it, everything, right? Talk about the farmers market and what's going on in the area. Talk about the small businesses and the purveyors in the area and what's going on. Like, become that community person. There is nothing stopping you. Your community involvement can be heightened in 2022 if you guys make a commitment to do so. Company generated lead products. You guys have OJO, you have OpCity, and you guys have the ability to get onto Zillow Flex. The 2 lead products right now that have no minimum standards is your OpCity and your OJO. We'll help you with conversion. We'll help coach, train, and develop you to get better. So I want you, if you're not already on those lead products, make sure to get on those lead products. Farming, that's a whole conversation in itself. The one thing that you need to do when you farm is be consistent with it. Talked to somebody yesterday. I said, you ever farmed? They said, yeah, I farmed last year in March. I said, in March? Yeah, I sent 300 cards out in March. That's not a farm. A farm is a consistent action plan for the next 12 to 18 months. It needs to have frequency of your touch points. You need to have your campaign shows. You need to know exactly what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, and have that in your schedule and make sure that you stick to it. A farm is a great opportunity for you to develop your business, but you have to stay consistent with it. And what I see is people are inconsistent with their farming abilities. So let's continue on. Wrote some notes here for you guys so we can have this conversation. Then I'm going to open this dialogue up so we can talk, and then we'll get into script role play in a moment here. Each pillar needs to have a well thought out marketing plan. This is your strategic marketing plan for each of these buckets. Execution dates. You need to have resources that are needed, deadlines. Every action, every plan needs to have a sense of tension around it and create pressure. right? I say tension, I create pressure because when you give yourself a deadline, say by next Friday, I'm going to create 5 videos about my community. I'm going to talk to the school. I'm going to go to local businesses, and I'm going to talk to the local, jewelry shop. I misspelled pressure, but I got to fix that. So the point being is that you guys have to have an action plan around these things so you guys know exactly how you're going to be spending your time. I always say this, don't go about anything haphazardly in this business. Map everything out daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and plug all these activities into your calendar and stay disciplined. That's exactly what Kevin Magna did. Kevin Magna is doing these 30 parks in 30 days. He did the men's mental health awareness last month or November when we grew the mustaches. Put that in your calendar and give yourself a plan so you know every single day how you're going to be allocating your time, effort, and your energy. Understand and consistently review your KPI. We're going to be talking about KPIs a lot in 2022. Roxanne, what is a KPI again?
Uh-oh.
Say again?
You're picking on me. I'm in trouble. I have to pass on this one, team.
All right. So, Damian, what's a KPI?
Key producing. Oh shit, Roxanne, I'm in the same place.
Key production indicator.
Here we go. Indicators. Khalid.
It's key performance indicators, and you guys were right on. So this is really looking at your business and saying, what are the conversations that I had that led up to the appointments that I set, that led to the appointments met, that led to my offers written, that led to accepted offers, and then led to my closed transactions. You guys have to own your own metrics, right? Own your own metrics, but you have to come up with the strategy, right? If your metric is, I want to hit X amount of people, I want to have X amount of deals, I want to do X amount of business, right? Well, you have to own those metrics, but you have to also come up with the strategy and be able to put all of that strategy into a calendar to help keep yourself accountable. A lot of times what Kenny and I hear is like, I just don't know what to do, where to go. I feel like I'm kind of lost. And then the number one thing that we ask an agent to do is what? Pull up your calendar. Let's pull up your calendar. There's 2 things I usually do when I hop on a coaching with you guys. Pull up your calendar. Let me see your social media page, right? And once we do that, we're starting to obviously identify some areas of improvement and opportunity. So get really, really clear on understanding and reviewing your KPIs moving forward. So before we go on to local focus, I want to stop sharing my screen here and let's go back to you guys. All right. So, I'm sorry, I wasn't even sharing my screen there. All right. So let's do this, you guys. I want to hear about some things that you're doing right now that you're winning at in regards to generating leads. We're going to leave company generated leads out of this because those leads are coming to you. Yes, there is some strategies involved. There's some follow-up. There's some things that have to work for you in order to be successful. We're going to leave that out. I want to hear, what are you guys doing right now outside of company generated leads to develop business that is winning, that is working for you? I want to have this dialogue. I want to open it up, and I'm going to start with Christina Darrow. Let's hear from you first and foremost.
Good morning again. 2 things I feel like I'm consistently doing are, 1, my farm. I'm sending out my second round of flyers. I'm doing 2 rounds this month. I started last month in December, and I'm doing it through EDDM, through the post office. So it's a lot cheaper than traditional farming. And I just learned how to do that. It's easy and I can help. And then the second thing is something that you taught me, is just post on social media. And that's where I've been getting a majority of my self-generated leads.
Beautiful. So when you say farm, let's give me a little bit more granular information. Give me some of your metrics. Where, how many, how frequently, and let's talk about that. Like, tell me what the defined metrics are for your farm.
So I'm farming in Castro Valley. I have 3,600 homes that I'm farming. Each home is costing me, I want to say like 30 to 40 cents between printing and mail. So it's like a fraction of what I've heard out there. And I sent out my first round in December, and then I'm going strong this month. I have one going out on Wednesday next week, and then I'm going to do another one at the end of January so they can see me twice. I'm going to do the same thing in February. I'm going to go twice because springtime people start thinking of selling. And then I have a crap ton of flyers in my car. I haven't done it yet. So if anybody wants to go door knocking with me, let's go. But that's what I'm doing right now.
Beautiful. So does it sound like Christina has a plan? Do you feel, based on what she's saying, that she owns the metric, right? So first things first, you own the metric, right? And so say that's a high arching goal. That's what you want to make. That's what you want to achieve. But then you create the strategy, right? You guys have to think about that. I'm going to own the metric. It's mine. That's what I'm saying. We're, hey, 2 billion, right? 2 billion. Well, we as a company have a strategy in how we're going to get to 2 billion. So it's the same thing with you guys when you're running your individual businesses. Cool. I see a couple other hands up. Let's go over to Sakia Sampson. Let's hear from you. What are you doing right now that is winning you business outside of company generated leads?
I don't have business yet because I'm fairly new and I'm newly licensed, but I am getting attention with leads. What I realized was like this morning, someone reached out to me. Like when I go to Costco or when I'm in a store, I basically look at it like a brand and I sell myself. So any interaction I have with individuals, like, you know, I sell myself, I start the conversation off, whatever we're doing. And then I just say, or do you have real estate or do you know, or you know anyone, like not too aggressively, but just trying to make it like charming, like making it personal and like kind of like ease myself in there. Mind you, I don't even have no business cards that like with XP on or anything like that. I just have like something.
Sakia, hey, Sakia, unfortunately, I got to cut you off because your audio is cutting out.
So I just try to make contact with people and just like, you know, just ask them about it.
Sakia. Hey, I got to cut you off. Your audio is too choppy.
That's cool. I'm cool. I'm in the car and I'm like on the go, so it's good. I just want to participate. It's good.
Thank you
I'm
for chiming
listening
in.
Though.
Okay. All right, Lee, guys. Let's continue on this conversation. And sorry about that. Who else has some strategies right now that are working for you that you are winning? Please share in this environment. I want to hear from you guys. If she doesn't raise her hand, I'm going to call on Lisa because she's doing some things right now to elevate her own game in the recent months. So let's hear who else has something. So Andy, he had a hand up. Go to Demian. Demian, let's hear from it, bro.
I am still lacking in the strategy department. That's why I was just in the chat asking about farming. But what I have been consistent at, and again, I only put a 7 in the chat when you asked about our social media engagement, but I just got another listing agreement signed from my sphere of influence this morning for a home in Pittsburgh to go on in February. But it's because of that cause and effect of me posting Elias's group coachings every day. Me, my wife telling me, get on the camera when I go out the house to go to a showing. Like whenever you guys see me in front of the camera now, I'm usually being pushed. It was Elias for the past few months. Now my wife again, when I leave the house, hey, turn your camera around, get on it. So those things are starting to cause a trickle effect though, because again, none of my friends were hitting me up in the past 4 years to help them out with real estate. And now this is the second one in like the past 4 months asking for my assistance, but it's all correlated to just being immersed in the business. Like now people see me as a realtor and not just this rapper who has a real estate license. So.
I love it. I love it. You know what? Here's the thing, you guys. I've said this time and time again. I'll say it again. Visibility creates opportunities, right? When we look and we do deep dives into people's social media to help them to grow, you see no videos with their face, right? Like, come on, bro. Look at you. You got so much to say. You all have something to give to the world. Give it to them. Because I don't care if you have 500 followers or you have 5,000 followers. That means someone is following you. They think you are interesting for whatever reason it is. So give them more of what they like. It's you, or else they wouldn't have hit that follow button. So they're there. You have an audience. Give them something. Give them. So Demian, I love it, bro. Me and Eric have been saying this for a while. You are swagged out, bro. You have more style than so many people I know, brother. So like rock that, bro. And you're smart and you've been doing these $1 million plus deals, bro.
Hey, I'm just trying to believe in what everybody else is saying finally about me, but it's coming along. And again, these things are helpful because it helps us to implement the strategies and shit. Because I'm lacking in a lot of areas, but being engaged and here with you guys, it does motivate and inspire, you know, me to take other actions that I don't take currently. So thank you.
I want you, go ahead, I'm sorry.
On San Pablo. Phew.
Shout out Roxanne. She called me the other day and gave me even more motivation. Again, this team is unlike anything else I've experienced. 5th year in real estate, and this is crazy. Like, thank you guys for real.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. You have you've been doing so great in Zillow Flex. I want you to close your eyes, and you don't have to do that for real, but literally, like, sit there and imagine, well, what if for some reason I didn't have Zillow Flex in 48 hours from now, right? If I didn't, and look at your eyes and your physiology changed, right? And I don't want that to be an oh shit moment. Zillow Flex is not going away in 48 hours, just so everybody knows. But what if that went away in 48 hours? What are your strategies for the 4 other buckets? How are you going to generate leads that are outside of company generated, right? And how much more money could I make off of leads that I generated on my own that I wasn't given a 35% referral fee off top, then paying a split, right? So it's like you have to create some tension and some what if? So what I want to see for you this year is a ratio. It's, yes, I did 25% of online leads. I did 40% of, community leads, and the rest were my sphere of social media, whatever that is, right? You should have a really good blend of percentages on where your business came from for the year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to create this year.
That's the goal. Thank you.
Good. Lisa Chavez, you had your hand up. Let's hear from you.
Hello. I'm going to start my video and I'm going to scare everybody.
Oh,
but
shit. She cut her eyelids off.
I did. But the reason why I'm going to start my video is because part of it is engagement, and I don't give a shit what people think. And part of that is that I've been posting updates on my eyelids every day, and you will not believe the engagement I got. I've had like 100 people contact me. What the hell did you do? And now and then it forms into other conversations. So just not caring, because look, I look like Bride of Frankenstein right now, and I don't care. I'm not shy about it.
I love this, but really quick, just so we know, because I'm curious, because I don't know anything about cutting eyelids, is why? I don't know why.
So I have seasonal allergies super bad, and I've rubbed my eyes for years, and the eyelid skin was sagging and I hated it. So I wanted it cut off. Okay.
All right. Clear. Okay. I'm clear now. All right. Sorry.
Go on. The moment I started using Instagram stories, my people contacting me started going up greatly. I had a friend from high school contact me, and 2 weeks later we closed on a home. I didn't even show her one home. She went to the open house, said, write the offer. We did it. She wasn't happy with her other agent. It was 2 weeks, and I was a $941,000 sale. If I wasn't posting stories, it wouldn't have happened. And so that was huge, social media. The second thing I've been doing is farming my neighborhood. I have a 12-month plan written out for the whole year, and I'm really excited about it. Starting, I think next weekend, is I have a dumpster being put in front of my home, and a shredding company is coming out. My whole neighborhood I'm farming. I've let them know, let's start the new year fresh, get rid of all your shit. And I have a big sign I've prepared to put in front of the dumpster that says, tag me on, take a picture with my sign, tag me on social media, and you'll enter a drawing for a $50 gift card of your choice, just to get people to tag me and put me out there. And then going out from there, I have like a ice cream social planned. I have, even out to December, I bought a Santa costume for pictures with Santa. So I've got it completely planned for 2022. And then just posting that all on social media. So I hope I know I'm going to have a big year.
You know what? Okay. Just listen to the tone and listen to her conviction. She has a plan. She's going to document everything. She just did a bike drive inside of the Brentwood office where people came together. They put together all these bikes, and then they gave it to kids that were in need of bikes. And so she committed. She said, Elias, you know what? I'm committed to having a great year. I'm not going to take, any bullshit this year, and I'm going to do everything that I know I can do in this business. And you've seen it, right? Whether she has cut eyelids or not, she's doing it. And so hats off to you. Hopefully the road to recovery is quick. I don't know how long it takes.
And believe it or not, I'm actually shy. And I heard Sylvia say this the other day. I have a hard time. I'm scared of looking dumb. I'm not shy. I'm scared of looking stupid. So for me, I also told myself for 2022, stop it. Just put yourself out there. Raise your hand, talk, go to the meetings, even if you don't know people. And that's what I started doing last year. I just showed up. Normally I would hide. And so I've grown and I feel my own growth. So just put yourself fucking out there.
I love it. I love it. Let's hear from two other people on strategies that are currently working for them that are outside of leads that company provides. Go ahead, King.
I was just gonna say earlier when you were talking about the social media presence, I saw a bunch of ones. And, you know, I think when I first started this business, I felt like I was also a one. And, you know, I would say I'm somewhere, I mean, if Kenny thinks he's a 7, then I'm probably more like a 5. But the point is that I want to, you know, kind of throw out there for you guys to chew on is just, you know, just be yourself. And I think, you know, when you think too much about it, what do you call that? Analysis paralysis, right? It's like you think about it too much and it inhibits you from putting yourself out there. But I just want to, you know, piggyback on what Lisa is just saying, you know, fuck it, throw yourself out there. You don't really have anything to lose. And, you know, I think that's kind of, you know, the whole point of posting on social is so that you get engagement so that you get start conversations, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And I think when I get the most engagement, it's from when I'm not doing real estate shit. It's when I'm doing, you know, when I post my toes just getting done a light green color, I get hell engagement. When I post me playing music, tons of engagement. So it's like, you know, don't think about it. And you know, I used to think like it has to be manicured, it has to be blah blah blah. But you know, there's actually like clinical whatever that shows that the consumers actually like the ums and the ahs, right? Because they feel like you're more relatable and you're more human. I think so. Be yourself, I think, would be my number one advice for that.
Totally. I love it. You guys believe in the power of your imperfection. It's okay. Because a consumer doesn't need to always have to see this polished version of yourself because it's not real, right? I think that's what pandemic did for us. Through pandemic, I had my son, you know, you guys saw Silas featured on tons of Zooms because I was stuck at home with them and I'd have snacks over here. Hey, Silas, he'd be crying about, all right, sorry. But it gave a sense of realness. Like, hey, he's a dad, I'm a parent, he's at home. Hey, I get it, right? So it lets people into your environment. And so really good point, Eric. I saw Kenny posting here and I think this is a great idea. We should host an Easter egg bunny, egg hunting, and cool backdrop photo shoots for the Easter bunny at our offices. What about this? What if we rented some supercars, whether it's a Lambo, whether it's an old school car, and had the Easter bunny inside of the old school car or the supercar, and we're sitting out there taking pictures with the fast real estate bunny, and we do Easter egg hunts at our offices, but the pictures are from the Easter bunny with the kids sitting in the front seat of these cool ass, dope ass cars, right? Like how fast real estate is that? And it's different, right? And now we're just thinking about this, you guys, thinking about lead generation opportunities. So let me hear from one other person on sources or things or strategies that are currently working for them to develop business, no matter where it's coming from. Let's hear from one person. Going once. All right, go ahead, Sandy.
I don't know if it's gonna work or working or anything. I'm just trying to start thinking of ideas. So I live in Temescal, right at basically 51st and Telegraph. There's a whole bunch of stuff like this area has been growing and developing a whole lot. The Whole Foods just opened up here. And I requested like from title just records for 94609. And I'm just starting super, super small, but I noticed down the street that it looked like somebody was doing some minor updates to their home. And they had like a handyman there doing some painting on the outside. So I looked them up in my spreadsheet and looked up the owner. They're absentee, so that spot is a rental. So I'm guessing that if they just had a vacancy on it. And I looked the guy's name up and he looks like he's in his 70s So I just crafted a letter that took me a long ass time, and I got some feedback from Eric. I think it's all right. But it's supposed to be like real personable, really, authentic. And I'm going to mail it like in the mail to this guy and try to speak with him about listing his place. And there's a few other places like that in the neighborhood. I'm just trying to start by targeting really specific places and making very like specific heartfelt letters to people. But then after I get my feet wet, I'm hoping that I can actually start to do a bit more of a mass like situation. And then I'm also going to try to target renters right around my area too.
I love it. And I love the doing part of it, right? It's like, just, you got to try, right? You got to shoot the shot and see what happens, right? So Sandy, I love, and Sandy came to me yesterday, or she was put in Slack. She's like, I got some ideas about a video, and she had some really great thoughts. I was like, there it is, right? There it is. So Sandy, I love the doing part of it. Kevin Magna, let's head over to you, and then we're going to shift gears.
Just real quick, if cost is prohibitive, right? Some of the stuff isn't cheap, some of the farming stuff. Vivian and I are teaming up, right? So we can split our costs, we split the leads, we split everything, right? I'd rather have half of a lot than zero of nothing. So something to consider.
Totally. I'm so glad that you said that, because we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So let me get back into these slides here. So I want to share with you guys a couple different things that I've been thinking about in regards to expired listings. So it says nearly 40% of expired listings relist within 30 days of expiring, and the majority of them relist within 72 hours. So there's really a need to speed the lead type of mentality. Expired listings need to be contacted immediately after expiring on the MLS. Once again, speed the lead. I put here, know your unique value proposition. You can't just call an expired listing and be like, oh my God, I know why I didn't sell. Now you need to have a really, really strong UVP. We'll talk about that in a moment. Be ready to address the top objections and know how to navigate past and close for the appointment. You have to practice, rehearse, and role play. And let's have this conversation, you guys. And we're going to do some role playing in a second. But before I get there, let me just go over some resources. If you're looking for expired listings, this is when partnership is going to be super, super important. You guys can search in any given city right now. I took Berkeley, San Leandro, Albany, Oakland, and I think it was Castro Valley this morning. I found 52 expired listings from 12/1 until yesterday. Well, now if you pull that search up, you're not going to find these owners' phone numbers, and so you're going to be challenged with, you have this. Well, now I'm going to have to mail something. Well, there's some services out there that you guys can take advantage of, but like Kevin said, you might not have the budget for it just yet. So you might have a fraction of the budget. That's when maybe you partner with somebody, or maybe get two other people and you guys pool your funds and start a Vulcan 7 account. These are numbers and these are dialers that you guys can get involved with right away. Espresso Agent is another resource, RedX, Land Voice, or you can simply knock on the doors of these clients, or excuse me, of these potential clients. Now that's going to take some skill and that's going to take some mastery. And so what I want to do is I want to have a live role play session about this. I'm going to give you guys some context. I'm going to give you guys some thoughts. I'm going to give you guys some ideas, and then let's just chop it up and have some dialogue around this. Because here's the thing. I wrote some notes here. Everyone on this call, no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter which bucket you're focusing on, right? Everyone needs to commit to mastery. When you get on a phone call with anybody, when you have a conversation with any prospective client in your life, they need to hear from you and I've got it tone, right? I've got this, right? When I talk to you, I've got this, right? When I talk to Demi and when I talk to a Kevin Magna, I've got this mentality. That's the type of energy that you guys need to give off. But would you have that energy if you didn't feel confident about what you were actually talking about, right? Someone said yesterday, how do I turn conversations? How do I just have conversations with people and turn that into maybe an appointment, right? Well, if you're not confident in what you're saying and how you're going about it, it's going to be very difficult to book appointments. So objection handling, how many of you right now, and please be honest, knowing we're going to face objections right now, and I don't care if you are the Roxannes, the Erics of the world, the Kevin Magnas of the world, or whether you are brand new in this business, how many of you are practicing seller objections? Because everyone on the screen, I know, wants to have more listings. I know it, right? Buyers are a grind. We know that. but how many of you are actually practicing your objections that you're going to face with your sellers right now? Give me a hand up, and please let me know if you guys are practicing your objections right now. Cool. Thank you for being honest, and I really, really appreciate it. I do. What we need to do is we need to get really, really masterful at objection handling. This is not being sleazy. This is not being cheesy. This is not being anything other than great communicators around all the things that we know are going to come up. When you're dealing with expireds, when you're dealing with FSBOs, or when you're dealing with seller objections, there's only a handful of objections that you're possibly going to get. So then you become masterful at handling all these. So you know, no matter what scenario you're going to go into, you have the artillery to make sure to handle whatever scenario you're going to be in, right? Listening, when you get an objection, repeat and reaffirm. We hear that all the time. Match and mirror and listen intently, right? We're going to talk about this. We're going to go in a little bit deeper, but it's just like if someone's getting on the phone with me and they want to connect with me right away. Christina, what do you think would the best way to be able to communicate with me? If you call me really quick, hey Les, I had a question. What do you think the best way to communicate with me would be?
Ask questions.
And what do you think? Like, do you think that I'm more this, or do you think I'm like super slow paced?
Knowing you, I know you're like fire.
Okay.
But if I didn't know you, I would have to hear you and ask questions.
Totally. And then you'll be able to identify quickly, because you listen intently, of the pace and the tone in which my conversation needs to go. We all need to be able to adapt. Don't get outside of who you are and your personality, but be able to match and identify your pace and your tone and mirror whoever's on the other end of the call. So there's a couple questions and a couple key things that are going to come up when you guys are dealing with expireds. So I want to go around the room and I'll have a little bit of dialogue with you guys. I have some resources that I'll share with you guys after the call, but I want to know if you guys were going to call an expired right now and you have 20 seconds to engage with me, get me on the phone, and have me hang on the phone for longer than that, because they're getting bombarded. They're getting calls. They're getting blown up. What the fuck do we say? What do we say? Right? So Christina's shaking her head. So I love this. I love this. And I see some smiles. I see people's physiology like, oh, this son of a gun better not call on me. So I would like to ask somebody to please step up and volunteer to take that first 20 seconds of an intro call to an expired listing. Who would like to step up and take the first call? Cool. Nicole Penland, let's check your mic really quick, because if there's background noise, we'll go with somebody else, but let's check your mic really quick.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. I love it. All right. So my listing expired yesterday at 5 p.m. What are you doing? How are you going to call me? How are you going to engage with me on the phone? Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Good. Yes.
My name is Nicole Penland. I am a realtor with EXP Realty. I noticed that you were trying to sell your home.
You guys just don't get it. You guys have been blowing my phone up. Like, give me a break.
What do you think that I'm not getting? Are you trying to sell your home?
No, it expired yesterday. I've had 20 real estate agents call me. Jeez.
Well, I think we're reaching out to try to help you, sir. Are you still in the market to sell your home?
You know what? It just didn't work out. Yeah, so I'm just really, really upset right now, and I don't know why you guys are calling me.
Do you have an idea why it didn't work out?
I don't know.
Well, I would love to meet with you to try to figure out what went wrong last time, so that if you're still in the market to sell your home, we can actually get it done for you. Are you available later on this evening?
Cool. I'm gonna pause you right there, because I heard something that's really strong. Is that she went for the appointment, right? But what she did early on in the conversation, I don't know if anybody identified it. Who did she group herself with? Say again, if you guys have.
With the other agents. With other agents.
By using what word?
Or just to help you?
We,
yeah.
You know, she said we. This is why we are calling you. Well, if I'm stating the word we, who does it put me in the category with? All of them. But who am I trying to separate myself from? all those fuckers, right?
Okay.
All of them. I'm trying to separate. I'm not we. This is me. And listen, Mr. Seller, listen, I know that your phone's probably blowing up, and I'm not sure why all these other realtors are calling you, but I'm calling you because I am confident that I can sell your home, and I'd like to meet with you to 20 minutes to show you exactly how I do that and how I've done that with my other clients. All I want is 20 minutes to sit down with you, and I have some time today at 5:30 or 6:30. Does either of those times work for you?
Okay.
Right. I'm saying, if for me, I want to have a tone that I've got this tone, right? I want to separate myself from them. Hey, listen, Nicole, I don't know why all those other realtors are calling you. Here's why I'm calling you. I'm calling you because I'm confident that I could sell your home in this competitive market. Then I want 20 minutes to sit down with you and show you exactly how I do that for my clients and how I've done that in the past. All I need is, 20 minutes. I have some time today at 5:30 or 6:30. Which time would work better for you? Right?
Okay.
Like, what do you have to lose, Mr. Buyer or Seller? You don't have much to lose. So good stuff, Nicole. Love it. Separate yourself from the pack, right?
I'm one of them.
Identify right away what your UVP is. What is your unique value proposition that you offer to the world, and how are you going to separate yourself from all those other people that are calling? Hey, Tom, yeah, I noticed that your listing expired. I have a marketing plan that will, no, I want to hear some confidence. Get in front of me. So I love it. Good stuff. Who wants to volunteer for the next objection? Anybody else? All right, cool. Love this. Love this. All right. So Eric King. No, you know what? I'm just not selling. I'm not selling.
Is it already started? All right, let's go. Ba-ding, ba-ding.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, oh, you want to do the first part? Okay, cool. I was going to hit you with a different objection, but let's do
whatever works for you, bro. I'm ready.
Let's go with, you've already talked to me, but my first objection is, you know what? I'm not selling.
Yeah, I totally get it. I've worked with enough sellers where, this is a huge decision. It's not something that happens overnight. But if you don't mind me asking, why have you decided to put it on hold for now?
It just, we weren't getting the traction that we wanted.
Yeah, I hear ya. Oh, okay. Sorry, this is expired, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I gotcha. And that's another thing too. I've worked, I see enough houses out there on the market that
Hold on really quick. Hold on.
Yep.
Daniel Johnson, can you mute yourself, bro? Thank you. Go on, Eric.
As a realtor, that not only works with sellers, but I work with a lot of buyers. And what I see oftentimes is, unfortunately, sellers hiring incompetent agents, and they don't market their house properly. They don't take professional photos. They don't make, customized and personalized landing page for your home, and really just market it the way it should. I've seen pictures of your home, and I can tell by looking at those photos, your home is so cute. And I think with a little bit of tweaking, we could get it to look really, really good. And again, I have a team, a professional marketing team of photographers and, custom website and all that. So I think, I understand your frustration, and I would be frustrated too, especially when it's out of, your control. But I would be happy to show you some examples of homes that I've previously marketed, so you get a sense of what we do for our clients. Is that something that you might be interested in?
Totally. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
really
cool. So I'll tell you what, when we hang up the phone, I'm going to go ahead and send you a website of our current and previous listings, so you get an idea of how we market our homes, along with some client testimonials, so that you can see what our clients are directly saying about us, not just what I'm telling you, as I think that's a little bit more relevant in your case. So I understand that you're frustrated that people are calling. Again, when I see that, someone reaches out and has made an inquiry about, maybe selling their home or their home being expired, I want to be proactive and reach out with my services, and that's it.
Love it. Love it. All right, we'll pause there. Eric, really, really good stuff. As you can hear, a couple things that I heard is I've heard some empathy, right? I've heard some empathy. I think at the end of the day, what we need to identify with the client is really simple. So if they say, oh, I'm not selling. Okay. So when are you thinking about putting it on the back on the market? Because they were interested in selling the home in the first place, right? So let me understand. So when are you thinking about putting it back on the market? They're going to have some dialogue with you. So if you were absolutely confident that the home would sell, is it safe to say that you would put it back on the market? Well, yeah, like how do they say no to that, right? They're going to have some open dialogue with you. So having that open dialogue with them is going to allow them. So in a perfect world, Mr. Seller, Mr. Eric, Mr. Kevin, you know, what would have made you feel more confident? What would you have needed to hear or see from your agent to help you feel more confident about putting it back on the market? What would you need to hear? Right. And so Eric, I love the approach. I love sharing the marketing strategy, and I love being able to send them the listings and show them what we have done. So really, really good stuff. I have two other objections. Cynthia, you had your hand up, or was that clapping for Eric?
Well, both. But what I wanted to say is this does not, like, these role play sessions don't adhere. There's a reason why Kenny and the team put on our team calendar the EXP trainings, because just last week or the week before, this gal named Tina Cowell did a role play session, and it was so ridiculously fire, and it was specifically to this that I was like in the car, I pulled over and I was writing notes down. So make sure that you don't just use this. I mean, it's amazing, but there's so many other resources that you guys can go out, look at the team calendar, go to Tom Ferry's website, listen to podcasts. Don't let this end here.
Totally. And listen, this is right along the lines of mastery, because these thoughts came from Jackie, came from Tina, came from me being on these mastermind sessions. I'm like, let's bring it back home, right? So like I said, this year I'm going to level up, and I'm going to ask you guys to level up, because these are things that I know confidently that if you understand it and you understand the flow, you guys will book more appointments. So I'm going to go to Cynthia, since your hand is still up. So all right, Cynthia. Well, do you have a buyer? And if you do, you know, then bring your buyer. And where were you when the house was on the market?
Hey, Elias, you know what? I'm glad you asked that. I represent my clients 110%. So if your home was on the market, my buyer saw it, if they thought, you know, either the photos weren't great or for whatever reason that home didn't align with their needs, we moved on. Because I'm looking out for my client's best interest, just like I would look out for your best interest. And so where was I? I was helping out my client.
Beautiful. You know what? And I knew, I can hear that she was on this call, because here's kind of like the dialogue for that. Why didn't you bring me a buyer when it was listed? I personally, I wasn't ignoring your listing. I didn't know that your home was for sale. You know, there's thousands of homes for sale, and my focus was working with my clients, and not once did I receive a phone call from your agent letting me know that your home was on the market. I take a super proactive approach, and I call all the local agents in the area, let them know that I have this 3-bedroom, 2-bath in your community for sale that's going to hit the market, that is on the market, to stir it up. So I'm not sitting there waiting. I was out there actively finding the business for my clients, and that's what I do for all of mine. Tell me that doesn't sound a little bit different, right? It doesn't sound a little bit different. People call expireds, and here's what they say. Oh yeah, I'm calling Rebecca because I have a buyer for your listing. Oh, really? Where were you 24 hours ago? Can you bring that buyer by now? Oh no, let me find out a little bit more information about the house. What are they doing? It's like they're tricking them. It's a bait and switch. What they're tricking them to do is get the listing presentation. What I would do is like, hey, Rebecca, at the end of the day, I'm not going to insult your intelligence. That's not what and that's not my intention here. If I would have known that your house was for sale, and if I would have been communicated with, then we might not be here. But obviously the visibility in the conversation wasn't communicated to the masses in a great way, because else it would have sold in this hot market, right? So I'm not going to sit here and question your intelligence, Mr. Seller. Like, I would have been like, okay then, well, thank you. Thank you for not questioning my intelligence, right? All right, you guys, so let's do this. All right, so it didn't sell. Kevin Magna. and this is probably going to be one of the hardest questions. What would you do different? You're on the phone with me, Kevin. All right, cool, man. I've picked up the phone a lot of times today. I'm going to give you one chance. What would you do different?
So one of the reasons that homes aren't selling in this seller's market is probably because your prior team didn't do enough data analysis of the market and how to price it correctly. We've got to really look at what's happening in and around your neighborhood, and we've got to price it way under what you really want. And this specific situation, I would say you probably priced it too high. That may be the number that you want to end up at, but if you really want to get there, I'm going to highly suggest we mark it down about 150 to 200,000. And then I bring in my videographer, my photographer, and my stager, and we push this thing out. Every listing that I have over 40,000 impressions on digital advertising that I do, and we will draw in a buyer for your house.
Beautiful. I love it. Different, right? It just sounds different, right? You guys have to have a unique value proposition that is different than any other company out there. So Mr. Seller, Rebecca, did your last agent send you the Saleability Checklist? I don't know what that is. A Saleability Checklist is like a key data points that they're going to hit in order to make sure that your home sells, and also over communicate with you. How many showings, how many views on the website, how many people reached out on social? Did your agent constantly and over communicate all of the resources and all the touch points from all the visibility from the home? Probably not, right? So what I'm creating, you guys, I'm doctoring this thing up right now, and I'll make sure to like get the final product out for you in a couple days, is I'm creating an expired listing saleability checklist, right? So if I was to send this to you, Mr. Buyer or Mr. Seller, would you be able to mark off all these boxes, right? And then what's missing is the opportunity, is the gap, right? Did they send out jumbo postcards? Did they do a door knocking campaign? Did they do a professional staging? Did they do a social media campaign? Is it in all those syndicated emails or websites? I have more and more and more as I'm still working on it, right? So you have to be able to find the pain point and then be able to have to mirror it and match it with your saleability checklist and be like, you know what, now that I've heard from you and that there's only a couple of these boxes that are unmarked or marked, I know why the home didn't sell. I know why the home didn't sell. So I'm going to, Eric and I and Cynthia will probably just revamp this. I'm going to get this out to you guys by next week because I want to have this ready for next week. But the idea behind this is that there's tons of different resources to go to. There's tons of places to find these things. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to get really, really skillful on making sure that you understand the different pillars of production and understand how to have dialogue in these different sections. Today, we talked about expired. And if I had more time, we would go on and on and on. But we're going to do more of these workshops in person as well as on Zoom. So we've come to our time, and I want to make sure that I respect everybody's time. But I want to hear from a couple of people. What were some of your takeaways from today's session, from start to finish? What were some of your key takeaways from today's time together? Please share with me. Take yourself off of mute, raise your hand, go ahead and spit some fire. Let's hear from you.
I love the dumpster idea. You know, we're gonna have my wife and I were just talking, like, you need to clear the house and have a garage sale. So after the garage sale, why not just have a dumpster out front, put the sign out there, call in the neighborhood, and get a little marketing out of it and clean my house up.
That's right, man. And it's really inexpensive. You get a dumpster, I think it's like $450 and maybe even a little bit more expensive depending on your market. Let's go to Andrea Willis. Andrea Willis, what were some of your key takeaways from today's coaching? All right, cool. We'll go up to Joey Dewan. Oh, there she is. Go ahead, Andrea.
Sorry, trying to get off mute. I mean, this is actually, I think, my first coaching call. So just kind of hearing everybody is super helpful. All the ideas. I do like the dumpster idea and the paper shredder as well. And then the idea of kind of setting up your whole year with different marketing ideas. I am jotting down some ideas of my own. So, yep. Thank you.
Love it. Remember, you guys, 5 pillars of production. strategic marketing plan for each of those buckets. So it's like when this one's not pumping water, this one is, this one's not, this one is. So you guys have this multifaceted approach to driving your business. Let's hear from two other people. Joey Duong, key takeaways from today's session together.
I learned a lot about maybe your social media game and how we have to post a little bit more just to get interaction. That's lead generation. So one thing I also want to bring up is the expireds, is maybe talk about their goals and what, if they were to sell the house, where would they go next? Trying to find that motivation. I think this was what I did with you and Dennis Howell back in Caldwell Banker. So I think that's one of the main things too that I did when I work on expired.
Yeah, I love that, because a lot of times people have some motivation to go live in Arizona with their grandbabies, or to get to San Diego, to get to wherever they are.
Yeah, so they have a time frame.
Yeah, and so now it's like, they're not going to give up on their dreams just because it didn't sell. So I like that, Joey. Let's hear from Christina Darrow. You had put some notes in the chat. Let's hear from you. Key takeaways from today's sesh.
Overcoming the objections for the expired leads, because I'm intimidated and I had no idea. Just hearing it, I'm like, the light bulb, is starting to go off. So that was helpful.
Cool. I love this. And let's hear from Daisy Gutierrez. Let's hear from you. Key takeaways from today's sesh. Going once, Daisy, going twice. Okay, cool. Let's go over to Vin. Vin, how about for you? What were some of your key takeaways from today's session?
I think just the role play was really helpful, trying to understand the interactions between the two parties. And then the checklist would be really helpful as well, as trying to get onboarded. And yeah.
Beautiful. So you guys, listen, I want you to understand this. Commit to your mastery. Make sure that you guys are practicing the things that you truly, truly want to get better at, right? If you want to take more listings, you guys need to get prepared to handle these. I'm going to share a couple of resources that Ben Rojas shared with me. I'll put a recap tomorrow of today's session. You guys will have the different links to RedX, to Vulcan 7, if you guys want to enroll in those things. But at the end of the day, you guys, no matter what subscription service or lead source you get into or research you do, if you're not ready for those phone calls, that correspondence, the mailers, or any of that, then you're really not ready to help these people and serve these people. So I want you guys to get masterful in this. I want you to get masterful at looking at this really, really holistic way of approaching your business and looking at all the areas. And listen, when we did that 1 to 10 on social media, you guys should break down the 5 pillars of production, and you guys should rank yourself in each of those categories. And at the end of the day, if you were to increase by 1% in each category, how's that going to drive your business over the next year? So good stuff. Eric, you want to take us out of the field today and send us away?
Yeah, it's really inspiring to see all of you guys on here. I mean, especially some of the faces that I see on here over and over and over again. I'm trying to be better at attending these because it's so helpful. You know what I mean? And I don't think it really matters what skill set or what skill level you're at, because it's always interesting to hear different perspectives and stuff. So every time I'm here, I'm blown away. I commend all of you guys for carving the time to be here. And considering that this is our first week done of the new year, I think it's really inspiring too. And it's important to draw inspiration from things like Elias doing the Hard 75 and watching all of you guys striving to be better this year and to have a fantastic year. So let's make this a good one. Let's start focusing on the activities that we need to focus on in the upcoming week so that we can get closer to our end goals. But otherwise, guys, you guys are killing it. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys succeed this year. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Peace, chicken grease. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Aaliyah, stay on. You and I will have our one-on-one. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And you guys, really, really great work. Really great work today. Appreciate you all. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. I'll make sure to give a recap with all the resources from today's coaching session. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, brother.